What's good, y'all? It's Akira here, back with another video. And guys, on this channel we talk a lot about creative side hustles, Cricut, things that you can do, make money for if you're creative. That's something that I struggle with, is how to turn my creativity into profit so I can support myself as a creative without being like selling art and things like that. So that's what I kind of made this channel for, and I want to help you guys. So a lot of you guys are interested in Cricut. A lot of my videos that perform the best are about Cricut, so I really want to teach you guys how you can truly start a Cricut side hustle. Like, I want to teach you guys, you know, what you should do, how you should get started, so that you can successfully make a side hustle, you know, a Cricut side hustle or any creative business side hustle. This can be applied to all types of creative businesses. So without further ado, enough talking, let's get right into the video. As well, my background's looking a little bit different. Check out my interior design channel, that will be linked down below, called Akira's World for now, if you're interested in interior design and to see my finished office space once I'm done. But without further review, whatever, let's get into the video. So you want to start a Cricut side hustle, right? That's why you're watching this video. That's why you're here with me. And I want to, before you start getting into making, buying stuff, all that good stuff, I want to help you get prepared for what you'll actually need to get started. And with that being said, you know, I got my handy dandy notes here, and I have a few things that you can use to get started with your Cricut side hustle. And so kind of how I ordered this video and what makes sense to me, and I think it would make sense to a lot of people, is who, what, where, and why. I know it's usually when, but I think where applies a little bit better for the situation. So you have to answer those questions, your who, your what, your where, your why, I think, before you get started, so you can be successful. Because, you know, with any side hustle, they're not always successful, but I think that doing it this way will help you get on the right foot. So okay, so first we're gonna start with the what. No, sorry, I lied. First we're gonna start with who. Who are you selling to? I want you to think of your ideal customer in your mind. Even if you don't have a product in mind, who do you most resonate with? Do you resonate with moms in their 30s? Do you resonate with men under 25? Do you resonate with, or just your demographic? Like, I'm a young black woman, so that would be who I resonate with and kind of know their wants and their needs as being a part of that group. So that is a big question to ask yourself. Why I say that you should figure out who you want to sell to before you start thinking about what you want to sell, because it allows you to say, okay, maybe for instance you do want to sell t-shirts, right? But if you think about who you're selling those t-shirts to, it'll give you a better idea of what type of t-shirts to sell, what type of designs you should make to fit that demographic that you're actually selling to. So that's why I say start with the who. And think about this, do research, you know, talk to your peers, talk to the people who are, you know, who you are wanting to sell to. Talk to your 25-year-old niece or nephew who you may want to sell millennial or Gen Z, Gen X based quote shirts, or, you know, whatever. You start somewhere. The next would be, what are you selling? So once you figure out the who, so just for instance for this video, we're gonna say we're gonna be selling to women between the ages of 25 and 35 who have children. So that's who you want to sell to. They have children, they have disposable income, they are stay-at-home mothers, and you can add a few more personality types to that to kind of hone in on who you're actually selling to. And so you want to say, okay, what are you selling? What are people in this age range, in this demographic, who have these sorts of responsibilities in life, you know, whether it's child rearing or, you know, part-time jobs, or they're housewives. If that, you know, I'm just saying that's the demographic. I'm not saying you got to do that, ladies. You do whatever you want. You know, we can do whatever we want. But I'm just saying this is the customer that I have in mind. I just randomly made up for this video. So what are you selling? So, okay, maybe these women who are homemakers have more time to make their spaces beautiful. So maybe you want to sell custom home decor items with your Cricut. So you can say, okay, I know that these women in this age range have a popular, maybe boho is a popular style for women in that age range, and you want to make home decor, and you want to make home decor for that demographic. You say, okay, so I know I want to make home decor, I know who I'm selling to, and that will allow you to really narrow down what you're doing and who you want to sell to. Because like I said, our demographic is between 25-35, who are stay-at-home moms, who have a good amount of disposable income. So you may want to sell signs. Signs can range between $60 and $150, and you may want to focus on seasonal signs because you know people in that demographic have the money to change their decor out seasonally, and it's something that they do and they take pride in, because they are, you know, the homemakers. They want to make their homes special, which a lot of millennials do. So you kind of know that, okay, I know who my demographic is. I know I want to sell home decor, but maybe you wouldn't have necessarily went into making signs if you didn't figure out those two things first. So just want to kind of help you with your thought process and see how you can make yourself be successful if you start out the right way. So we got who we're selling to, 25 to 35 homemakers. We already got that. What are you selling? So you want to sell home decor items, and you land on signs, right? So you're going to be selling signs. Now, where are you going to sell these signs? So again, I got cut off there. My camera died, so I'm not on the same like super wavelength that I was on last time, but we're going to keep going. So we got our who, we got our what, and we got our, now we're on our where. So where are you going to be selling? So there are a lot of different factors to take at hand. You know, obviously selling on the internet can allow you to reach much more people, but that may not be your goal. Maybe you want to be a small niche brand that you want to be sold in boutiques. You want to sell at farmers markets. You want to sell at your own brick and mortar store. That's a lot for you to figure out, because where you sell is going to be where you make your money. You know, a lot of people jump on like Etsy to start making their first sales, which makes sense. It's a built-in marketplace. They have built-in customers. It allows you to put your product out there, you know, drive some traffic to your store, get customers, and get started really quickly. So that's why a lot of people go for Etsy when they first get started, which is not a bad thing. I'm an advocate for Etsy. You know, they do take a lot of fees out of your sales, so that's just something to keep in mind, especially if you're a newbie and you don't really want to invest in a website yet, or you know, invest in driving traffic to your website, or even if you don't know how to do those things. Etsy is a really great place to start. Another place that people sleep on, and it's not to be slept on, is Facebook Market. Like, even if you don't have a Facebook, just sign up for Facebook so you can sell stuff on Facebook Market. You don't have to add any friends, family. Literally nobody has to know it. You can put a picture of a cartoon and use a fake name if you want to, or just use your business name, or just make a business Facebook, which is pretty easy to do, guys, and there's tons of tutorials out there on how to do it. But yeah, it's really finding out where are you selling. And a big part of that is finding out where your customers shop. And that's why we find out our who first. Like, who are we selling to? Why are we selling them these things? Because who is going to help you figure out where you want to sell your items. Because that 25 to 35 demographic of homemaking women who want to have custom items or signage, you know, for seasonal signage, custom signage, you know, signage for when they get married, all those things, you know, come into factor. And Etsy may be a good place for you if you're starting with that 25 to 35. Etsy is a great place for you just to get started. People in that age range who follow those demographics that we talked about, they are actively shopping on Etsy. They are actively making purchases on Etsy. They're actively saving items to their carts on Etsy. So not only could you, you know, focus on maybe seasonal signs, you can focus on signs, you know, like the just married signs. You could even sell your home decor signs for weddings, all types of things. Because like I said, if you focus on that 25 to 35, that's the age range where a lot, not all, I'm not saying all, but because everyone's life is different, but a lot of those women in those age ranges are getting married, they're having kids, they're buying their first homes, and that's where it makes sense. Your who makes sense, because okay, those three things I just said. Okay, so that person may want to sign for their wedding, then they bring it into their home. Okay, now they have their first child and maybe want to put a sign in their child's nursery. Maybe like I said, they focus on decor for every season. They do holiday decor and spring and Easter. Guys, there's a lot of people out there like that, so don't sleep on it. And they may want signage for that. So it helps you really get an idea of where you want to go, who you want to be, and how you want to sell your things. Coming up with a plan is really smart and is an easy way to do this. So that's why where you're selling, I know I kind of got off track there, but well, kind of not really, because it made sense for where I was going, but where you're selling makes a big deal. So now if you say your demographic was between 45 and 55, you may want to sell at a local store, because people in that age range tend to shop more in person, because that's kind of what happened in their generation. Maybe you do want to focus on farmers markets, because people in that age range do tend to frequent farmers markets more often, and you know, that's where your demographic is. So where you want to sell is just as important as who you want to sell to. So I definitely think that once you come up with those thoughts, you'll be able to further yourself. And I want this video to be like 20 years, so keep it moving here. And the why. So the why, I think, can be for a few reasons, and it really depends on what you're selling, because there's a few different reasons. So maybe your why is you're creative like me and you want to make money off your creative ideas, and maybe make more money for your family, save up for something, maybe you just want a little extra income. Your why is important as well. Also, because maybe your why is that you have a child with autism and you want to make autism based products, and you want there to be representation within that community. So your why can be that. You know, your why can be a lot of different reasons, and not just money focused. I want you to think about your why as, you know, obviously you starting a side hustle, so it has to do a lot with money, but what are those other things that are going to get you, what other things are you're gonna benefit from your side hustle? Like, yeah, you're gonna make more money, but is that money going to help you purchase a home? Is that extra money going to help you take your kids on more vacations every year? When you have your why, not only does it help you stay motivated, but it makes you feel good. And I think that a lot of business people think about the money and all that kind of stuff, but if you don't feel good about what you're doing, if you're not focused on it, you're not going to put your all into it, and it won't be successful as you could possibly make it. So your why is super important, not only for the business but for you, because we're all people at the end of the day. We're all human, and the why is, I think, is like one of the most important parts for you, because the why is going to tell you, why are you doing this? Why do you want this? Why are you going to be taking this leap in this investment in yourself to do something different? You know what I'm saying? So the why is, I think that's why I included the why, because the why for me, when I make this YouTube channel, the why for me is that I love to pour into other people. It makes me feel good, and I wanted to be able to make money as a creative, and that is why I do YouTube. So that's my why, you know? And it keeps me going. It keeps me, your comments keep me going, and it keeps me putting out new ideas, because sometimes it's not the easiest. So that's what my why is for this channel, and you see kind of why that's important. Okay guys, so the rest of this stuff, I'm talking a little bit too much, and the video is gonna be extra long. I'll put timestamps somewhere because it's long, but anyways, so the next things are kind of like self-explanatory. I try to keep it cute and go from there. But once you figure out your who, what, when, your why, then you kind of get to the nitty-gritty things of like your budget. So what's your budget to get started? Is it $100? Is it $500? Is it $1,000? You have to be realistic in your budget and understand what you need to get started. And why I talk about budget is because well, obviously it's a huge thing, but if your budget is $100, maybe you don't want to, you don't want to invest in a Cricut just yet. Maybe you want to do hand painted signs, and maybe you just want to focus on things that you can make with a stencil, or maybe you're a painter and you want to make signs based on your art. So your $100 is going to be spent than someone different who may have a $500 or $1,000 budget. So your budget is super important, and you want to make realistic goals based on your budget, so that you can get started successfully. Also niche. So the who, what, when, why, we talked about how who, your what, your when, your why, and that is going to help you come up with your niche. Because like I said, if you start with a broad idea like home decor, you find out your who, what, when, why, and where, and then you kind of niche down, and you see how I use those examples to niche down into making signs for the 25 to 35 woman homemaker age group. So it's easy to niche down once you figure out all those other questions first, and then you can say, okay, well, I'm gonna make this or these few items because I've thought about this, you know, intentionally, and I've come up with a niche for my products or for my side hustle. So keep that up. Keep, you know, who would keep. So pricing is a huge deal because with being a creative and making stuff, if you're going to be making stuff, you may not, you may have a company make them for you, but pricing is a big deal for a few things, because you have to pay yourself for your time. You don't want to devalue yourself, you don't want to overvalue yourself and your stuff doesn't sell. So with pricing, it's a few things. It's how much do you want to pay yourself? What is your product worth? How long does it take you to make your product? I found this craft calculator that helps people price their craft items, so I'll link that down below. I don't say that's 100% end all be all. It's just a nice place to help you get started. But pricing, you know, and also do research on others who are selling what you sell. How often are they selling? How much are they selling for? So you can get an idea of your pricing. So the last three things are more once you get started, and the next thing is after pricing is pictures. So if you're going to be selling online, which a lot of people do, pictures are important. There's a difference between this one picture right here and this picture right here, and guess which one sells the most? Let me know down below, A or B. But yes, there's a big difference in what you sell, how you sell it, with pictures. You could have a great product that's better than Susie Bob, but because Susie Bob has great pictures, great photos, and she took the time to learn photography or pay someone to do it, her items are going to sell much quicker, faster, and easier than yours, because online, the only thing that you have is that picture, that visual, so that people can say, hey, this looks good, I want it, I want to add to cart. Okay, so pictures are a huge thing. There's so many ways that you can get pictures made. You can learn how to do it with your iPhone. There's so many tutorials out there. Very easy to get started, very easy. I think I have a video on my channel about how to take product photos, so check that out. And then if you're going to be selling online, this is like a little asterisk. If you're going to be selling online, after you get your pictures, the next biggest thing is shipping. Watch a few videos on shipping. Get yourself familiar with shipping, because you don't want to have a product that you think, you know, you have a product that's a great price, people love it, but then they're not buying it because your shipping is $17. Definitely do your research on shipping. Make sure you can get the lowest rates as possible. You know, you want to either work the shipping into your overall price. If you want to do free shipping, that's a lot to consider, especially if you're shipping like a large item, like say signs, and your shipping cost is $15. So now you're like, my shipping cost is 15 bucks. Do I work that into the price of my item? Do I charge customers, you know, $5 and I work that other 10 into my, you know, into my product? Do I split the difference with them? It's a lot of thought that goes into shipping, and you just want to be well educated before you get started, because that can make or break your business. Even if you have all those other things, why I put shipping last, because it's so important. Shipping rates are increasing every year, and when you're competing, you're a small business, you're competing with the likes of Amazon. People don't get in their mind that you're one person and Amazon is an entire corporation, but they still want Amazon like speeds and responses and all that good stuff from small businesses, even though they're crazy for thinking that. But definitely shipping is super important, and it's a thing that you do need to get locked in and down packed, so that you can be successful after you got all your other stuff. You don't want to lose that customer right at the end, because you did everything perfect. You don't want to lose them right at the end for that $15-20 shipping. So yeah, so I hope that I was able today to provide you like at least like a checklist on how you can get started. If you're one of those people who are scared to just jump into it, you want to be really thought out before you get started. Also, I think this would be an easy way for you to be successful when starting your business with Cricut. So guys, and honestly, this could apply to any business, not just Cricut. So I don't know if I'm going to name this Cricut video, but I don't know, we'll see. You'll see when you see this video what it's named. Well guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Let me know down below if you like videos like this or what else you want to see, because you guys know I take requests. If you want a video made, I will make it. Just let me know. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.